Hello, very nice to be here. Happy to have this opportunity. You all look pretty delightful. There are some really interesting things happening on this park bench where we're playing. Actually, they're more than interesting, they're really quite exciting. These events that are occurring. And some of these events that are occurring in your sleep space. And so let me just ask a simple question. Are you aware of that? And in a way, the answer is no, you're not aware of it. But it's really very exciting what you're doing, what we're all doing. I'm having a lot of fun with you. So let me explain what I mean by that before we even get started. This amount of light that's coming in is opening up a level of awareness that is really beginning to move each one of us into a higher awareness of ourselves, a higher version of ourselves. And in the sleep space, in the astral plane, as many call it, in the etheric realm, as it's more appropriately called, you're beginning to have the experience that you've set out to have in this body, in all your bodies. And the experience is basically the soul saying, I wish to know myself in physicalness. And all along in the game that we've been playing, that third dimensional game, very sticky, very complicated, very convoluted in a lot of ways. But as you begin to play in this space where this light is coming into the body, the opportunities that are being presented to you as the soul, you as the higher self, you as the spiritual being that you are, is beginning to take form in density. You're beginning to get the vibration of that higher aspect of yourself where it mismatches with you and the physical body, the density, the slower, duller vibration, in a manner of speaking. It's really quite exciting. You're getting closer and closer and closer. And in the sleep space where we play every night, and particularly in this last evening, it was really exciting because so many of you are getting to the place where you're able to start to remember your dreams in the sleep space, the creation in the sleep space. We'll talk about that, how that's going to all play out, how it is playing out in just a moment as we kind of go through what we're going to play today. So I was excited to just say all that because this morning I woke up with a big smile, amazed at some of the things that you were all doing. So, with that out of the way, let me say hello, welcome. There's a lot of new people here. Pleased to have you. We're playing in a journey that is pretty much exactly what I just said. You, that spiritual aspect of yourself, is beginning to bring those higher vibrations of you into this denser form of physicalness, into this denser form of thought, fourth dimensions of thought realm. But you're beginning to have an awareness of the you that plays in the multidimensional space in this physical body. And you're beginning to have opportunities to choose to step out of that 3D space. And so we're going to play today and next week in assembling creation. How do you do what you do? And how do you do it from an intentional place that becomes successful, that allows you to step comfortably out of that 3D game of guilt and blame and blah, 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 all of those things you know about, into this octave, into this state of a perpetual smile, the joy, the expression and awarenesses of beauty that simply present themselves to you. This is where this experience is going. Now, all the way back into the summer session, Northern Hemisphere, June, we started to say you're going to see some really significant changes between about September, January, February. And those changes are all coming into play, and they're all taking place. Now, they're not just happening in the third dimensional game. That third dimensional game is really beginning to fall apart. It's beginning to dissolve. It's beginning to simply become unattached in the manner it was attached. And I'm going to explain that in a few minutes because we're going to talk about the rays of creation and that third ray that holds everything together. Well, we'll get there in a few minutes. But in this space that you're beginning to become conscious in is allowing you to step into this ability that I'm pointing to where you're going to be able to observe and choose an action from an understandable point of creation. You're going to assemble creation on your terms. Now, there's some things about assembling creation that make this really pretty fascinating. And this is partly where the you that's coming into that sleep space, it's getting more and more aligned with or aligning the you with the rational mind in the physical body, is beginning to present this awareness of ease and joy and comfortableness, if you would. The ability to create without fear, without concern, without doubt, without stepping back, not sure what I'm doing. I'm hoping I'm doing it right, but I don't know what I'm doing. You've been right to a great extent. I'm concerned that I'm going to get the outcome that I want. The misnomer is, I don't know what I'm doing, because you actually do know what you're doing. But you don't necessarily know what you're doing in terms of how to organize the creation on your terms, rather than the terms of the third dimensional game. Now, let me see if I can set this up in a way that makes a lot more sense. So first, take a breath, sit back. Let me say right here, thanks to Steve Rother for last week, because he's really beginning to bring a smooth awareness into your space. How he and the group are setting this up are in such a way that the ability to simply step into this octave multidimensional realm that we're playing in, it's being done with ease. He's basically setting this up and taking you into that vibrational field of you as the higher self, you as the soul coming closer and closer to the physical space. And so what we're playing here, we're going to elaborate on it, we're going to expand on it, we're going to basically understand or begin to play at understanding how to assemble creation, how to assemble the energetics of what I want, how I wish to experience myself, how I wish to create for myself and be in service to others in a way that's enjoyable and fun, comfortable, without conflict. So, another breath. And one of the things playing here on this park bench, would you find yourself in a comfortable place? Would you just sit back and would you bring your crown chakra, top of your head, to sky blue? Now, for some of those of you who are new to this, the whole purpose of creating a focused agreement is kind of when everybody is in the same place. And this setting your crown chakra at sky blue begins to have everybody looking in the same direction. So a nice smooth breath, comfortable. Sit back. Close your eyes if you'd like. Not important because we're just going to talk through this. This is not a meditation as much as it is an instruction, a how-to organize energy in a manner that allows you to create what you wish to create. So another breath. One of the things that we've done in the past months is begin to look at this space that's beginning to be forming, this third dimensional space beginning to dissolve, beginning to break up, beginning to loosen up, so that much of the conditionality, the right, wrong, good, bad, should, shouldn't, dualities, the separation that is very rigid, I can't do that because I don't have permission, gets in the way of being able to simply be in joy. Simply smile at somebody else, enjoy somebody else without hesitating, worrying, doubting. Are they going to like me? Is this going to work? Do I have permission? That third dimensional game is simply in the process of dissolving. It doesn't have to be a good or a bad thing, but it's an event that has been waited for a long time, as we've said before. It is time to go home. We've accomplished everything that was set out to be accomplished in that third dimensional experience. And for many of you who are here going, I'm ready, there are equal number, or maybe even more, that want to be in a space of being able to create for themselves, but they want to get out of that 3D. And you're watching it all over the world, just paying attention at all. There's structures that have been in place, like this last week in Syria. All of a sudden, something completely impossible, the change of a dictator, happened. Just happened. That process of moving passionately towards freedom, to the ability to create for yourself, is really this light that's coming in to everybody. But where we've been playing, we've been bringing attention to this octave. And so this octave, it's a very simple place. It's comfortable. There's a joy, an ease, a buoyancy. A smile. Would you take a breath, and would you just shift your attention into this octave, the smile. Sitting on the park bench, enjoying yourself in this moment, happy. Now, what happens in order to accomplish that, there is an intention and an application of tools. You need to shift from a frown to a smile. You need to shift from an attention point on not enough, I'm not okay, I don't deserve, to I am fine. I like me. I'm pleased with myself. Now just play with me here. Would you just look at some of the attention points that you hold your attention on in that lesser space? Oh, I'm not doing it right. Oh, this didn't work. They didn't call me back. This isn't going the way I wanted to. But you just notice the feeling and the thought. Now, don't go into it, but just notice what happens when you bring your attention to that third dimensional space. And then right here, would you intentionally find a smile? Would you intentionally notice the movement from I'm not okay to I'm okay. I like me. I'm fine. I'm pleased with myself. And just notice the transition from one thought and emotion to another thought and feeling. Now, in order to do that, you have to apply a set of creation. A tool, we'll call them tools for the moment. You have to simply shift from one place to another. You have to apply a different emotion, feeling, get out of it, move to a different one over here. Now, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but I'm going to be telling it to you in a way that you may not know. You see, that third dimensional game, when we grew up, we actually got to play with all the rules and all the tools and all the opportunities and all the creations, except nobody necessarily told us how to combine them, how to apply them, how to simply change the color red to the color pink by grabbing another color and moving it into the bright red. An action, an assembly of creation. Now, another breath. And to keep this really simple, because the interesting part is it's really simple. But the third dimensional game has created that situation when I wanted to make pink out of red, and I recognized it was using color, and I grabbed the green and applied it to the red. Didn't work. I don't know what I'm doing, one may have said. Well, you did know what you were doing. You just didn't have a set of awarenesses about the application of assembly. And then we've gone on with our life bumping into this and trying that and looking for this and watching them do that. And then I tried it and it didn't work the same way. And we kind of got all wound up in all of our attempts and then labeled them failures, or it didn't work, or I don't know what I'm doing, or this is too much for me. All of that was thought misapplied. Now, another breath. Now, again, just kind of notice that sky blue in the crown chakra. And would you bring your attention to the feeling and the color of sky blue? Now, maybe you do this through a memory. I mean, laying on your back on the grass and looking up at the sky blue and feeling completely engaged with it. And it's soft, it's attractive, it's comfortable, it's relaxing. Now, all that just happened is I gave a set of instructions. Do this, do this, do this, relaxed, comfortable, a pleasant feeling in the heart. Now, just kind of notice if that was the outcome and the direction. Because if it was not the outcome and the direction in any way, it's because there was still a thought that says, oh, this is stupid, this isn't interesting, I thought I was going to get a spiritual piece of information, blah, blah, blah. All that was is the doubt that's just sitting in the assembly space. What if I do it wrong? What if I'm looking at the wrong color of sky blue? What if, what if, what if? No, not here. You see, right here, you cannot do it wrong. Impossible to do it wrong. Oh, you might get an outcome that is a little bit off of what you intended to do, but you cannot do it wrong. Now, just kind of attention back to sky blue. Now we're kind of putting the pieces together. Now, right here in the past months, we've kind of brought an awareness to a concept, a consideration. What if it was possible to just step out of the third dimensional game? Oh, I don't mean die, I don't mean lose your body, I don't mean I mean, just simply change your attention point. 3D, 5D, 3D, 5D, 3D, 5D. We played that game. But right here is that but that so many are still holding on to. I'm in 3D, I want to be in 5D, but you don't understand, because. Would you take another breath in this octave, and would you look at that 3D space you just played in a moment ago, giving attention to what you don't want, and how did that feel? And then giving attention to what you do want. Let's assume the fifth dimensional octave space: joy, ease, buoyancy, happy, smile, beauty. And would you just again notice 3D, and with no but, no explanation, would you just be in 5D? I like me. There's a feeling. It's quiet. Now, we're in the process of assembling creation. We're reviewing how things work. We're not looking for right or wrong. We're simply observing how our choices create results. 3D, 5D. Would you notice 3D, notice noise, notice events, notice whatever you'd like to put your attention on, and would you notice it without putting your finger into that light socket? Would you simply just notice the events, give them no attention, no emotional connection, and would you like to experience beauty? And all of a sudden you'll just feel a shift. A shift. There's no but. So there's a couple of opportunities to move from where you have been to where you would like to be effortlessly. There's no argument, there's no but. Now, just pause with that concept for a moment. It's as if you are staring at tragedy, uncomfortableness, things that are not working. I'm looking right at them, and you turn 180 degrees, and there's this lovely waterfall. And the temperature is pleasant, and there's a park bench just to sit on and enjoy. Now, feel the shift. The shift is a choice. Now remember, this is instruction. This is not a meditation. This is, how do I assemble creation on my terms? How do I create the experience I wish to experience on my terms? Not at anyone else's expense. And in many cases, as I create my experience, I enhance other people's experience into joy, into ease. Would that be an acceptable place to play? Now, just another breath. There's no thinking required here. Just something not attractive, something beautiful. How do you choose? Because see, it's a choice. There are no accidents. There are no excuses. There is 3D, 5D. But, no but. 3D, 5D. Kind of simple, isn't it? 3D, 5D, no buts. Now just take another breath. Now also kind of pause here and just notice the energy you're sitting in, because we are not in any relationship to 3D at all right here. We're in actually that sleep space that I pointed out at the beginning of this conversation. Interesting. In the vibrational field that causes a little disruption between the you that goes home every single night and explores you as the soul being, and the you and the physical body, there's a vibrational field, and it has to be stepped up or stepped down. Oh, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But you're stepping that vibrational field down in such a way, not as a lesser, but as an alignment with how you process in a physical body, in the etheric body, how you understand home, fully conscious in the physical space. Yeah, that's what this is. Very calm, quiet, comfortable. No thinking required right here. In a way, you could say, well, this is nice. I don't notice anything significantly different than just being happy and comfortable and quiet and pleased with myself, and I like me. Well, actually, that's the point. There is nothing different. I like me. I'm pleased with me. I'm looking at beauty, well-being. I can grasp laughter. Laughter. Can you find that right here? That bring your attention to laughter. Don't rush into it. Just kind of notice if you notice it. "3D, 5D. Now, there's a frame of reference you know intimately called the rays of creation. Now, many of you have played in the rays of creation as courses, as bodies of information. You know it as you know it. I'm going to make it very simple here. Nothing that's being said is a contradiction. Consider it a consideration to add into what you know. We're not making one compared to another. It's a recognition of what is inside these vast, energetic, creative constructs that create universes. The first ray, second ray, third ray, fourth ray, they create universes. We're just going to play with aspects of each of these first 6 rays in a way of beginning to understand more intentionally how I assemble my reality in physical form. Now, it's a really exciting time to do this, because remember a little while ago I said between September, January, February, really significant changes are afoot. They are. 3D is dissolving in so many ways, and we're going to leave that over there. We're not interested in that right here. And in so many ways, we don't have to be interested in it, because the more you pull your attention out of it, the more permission it has to begin to unravel itself without your attention point trying to fix it. It doesn't need to be fixed. It is fixing itself. But over here, in this 5D space, this level of light that's coming in is very smooth, very expansive, very opportunistic, full of possibilities. And so for right here, in these rays of creation, there is an understanding. So let's just kind of play with them. This first ray of creation is where you and the Creator are one. One. Now, how does that actually play out? In the simplest of terms, the Creator is all that is. We're not talking about Creator in religious terms. Some of you have religious positions about God that you are embracing and enjoy. Perfect. Nothing to change. Some have religious positions that push against that it interferes with who I am. You're correct. Perfect. We're not dealing with either one of those. We're just simply talking about all that is, Creator created. Let's just allow that to be a concept for the moment. The Creator created all that is. So by definition, all that is the Creator. And the Creator created you, keep that simple, and you and the Creator are one. Now, in this creation of well-being, not third dimension we created, but third dimension is not our attention point. So everything else is of the Creator's intention. Beauty, well-being, joy, ease, respect, dignity, kindness, co-creation, cooperation, on and on. But right here, the point of this first ray is the Creator and I are one. And if you can just allow that concept, knowing the Creator isn't interested in bad creations, just in creating more creation. This is a co-creation, first ray, between the Creator and I. That aspect of me that is Creator is creating to create something new, because that's why we were created, to create. Now, another breath. Okay, so I'm going to co-create. But in this co-creation, I have free will. I can create any way I want. And so the simpleness of this is, if I co-create and I'm aware of all of my opportunities that Creator has made in all that is, then the using that energy of all that is to create creates something new. Well-being, joy, ease, expression, laughter, pleased with myself. Look at what I've done. Third dimension, didn't quite have that. I'm bumping around trying to do things and I'm not sure I'm doing it right. Is it possible that a great amount of our frustration was we simply, with our free will, said, I'm going to do it on my own? Let's just assume that's the case for the moment. And bumped around and bumped around and bumped around. But what if you could bring it back over here? Creator and I are one, co-creating together. The second ray is really very helpful. Right where we're playing, we're in this sleep space right now. This is where we are. We're not in the walking around space. We're in the sleep space, fully conscious, co-creating. And what we're doing is using the second ray. The second ray is all about all the colors come from the second ray. But the second ray is about stepping down the energy or stepping up the energy. Not minimizing it, just simply saying, whoa, too much electricity. The magnetic field is too strong. I'm stuck. I can't move. Okay, second ray, loosen it up. Step it down, step it down, step it down for application. Right here, we're bringing the soul and you as a spiritual being right here, now, this minute, from this higher space that you sleep in but don't remember at all, into a space where you're able to start to remember your dreams, your experiences inside your dreams while you're having your dreams. Really cool. And see, this is the space where I was real excited this morning, because there you were excited about exactly this level of being excited to have this piece of information in the physical. Maybe some of you remember what we did last night, because this is what we did. We created this conversation. Let's create a field of energetics to where we can create more density from that free, smooth, high vibration, step it down into another density. So I can begin to grab a hold of it. I can begin to hold it in my physical awake space. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. First ray, co-creating with. Second ray, let's step that down so I can begin to have it in my physical space as an awareness. Third ray, oh, this is an interesting one because it is all the energies. It is the magnetism, the electricity, the electromagnetism, the stickiness, their adhesion. That's the stuff over in the third dimension, very sticky. Everybody said, I need to know this. Got it very sticky. Another breath. What happens is we're going to come in and out of this third ray as we play in this week and next week. But the third dimension is many things, but the part we're playing with is this is where you assemble or this is where the pieces lie, the different frequencies and vibrations and sub-frequencies, all too much to try to bring into your mind right here, but that's what they do. But you don't have to know how to yet. There's a place where this is the most fascinating thing in your reality, but it's in that higher vibration. Right here, just here, that all of the assembly, the electricity, the magnetism, electromagnetism, the sub-frequencies, all of that is right here to make the color pink perfect. I mean, exactly, not too much, not too little, exactly what I want. It happens partially right here. But where we're really going to focus now is this fourth, fifth, sixth ray. Amazing tools when you recognize the simplicity, complexity, the play that gets to be done here. Really, really pretty exciting. Fourth ray, the part we're going to play with, is a very simple set of instructions that you use every moment of the day. Fourth ray, every moment. You simply say, I am angry. I am never going to talk to this person again. Fourth ray simply says, okay, I will put that together. I will anchor it into place, and I will hold it in your reality until you, the creator, tell me you no longer want this. Useful piece to hear. Let me take it apart. You mean all those things when I said, I am stupid, I am not clear, I'm not doing this right, I don't know what I'm doing. The fourth ray, who will never argue with you, the creator you are, basically said, okay, I will assemble that for you. I will lock it down so that it doesn't come unraveled ever until you tell me I no longer need this. I can let this go. This does not serve me anymore. What if all that's required to unravel, well, let's not be that simple, much of what is required to unravel the experience you've had to this date in that third dimensional game is simply sitting back in the octave, taking a breath, finding I like me, enjoying myself, observing from the park bench, and recognizing I don't need this anymore. It doesn't serve me at all. Fourth ray, would you dissolve this statement? Would you dissolve? Would you release the I'm not okay? Now, don't rush into this because there's a couple of other pieces of information that are useful here. Fourth ray puts together what you tell it to put together to create your creation. And the fourth ray unravels what you have put together when what you put together no longer has value. Now, another breath. Now, remember, we're not over in 3D, and there's no but. 3D, 5D, 3D, 5D. We're in 5D, and the rules, the game, the choices, the opportunities, the possibilities simply are different. And all we're doing is beginning to rotate from observing, giving attention to 3D, and giving attention to 5D. Now, the 3D rational mind says, it can't be that simple. That's just too easy. That doesn't make sense. What about and how come and but, and no, it's that simple. It's this simple. Fourth ray puts together what you command it to put together, tell it to put together, request it to put together, and takes apart what you command, tell it, request to take apart. Now here's a place where we don't rush into that here. Let's take a look at this fifth ray for a moment. Now fifth ray is massive, but we're going to make it really simple. We're just going to call it the workbench. And on the workbench, we're going to bring what we wish to give attention to. Now, this fourth, fifth, sixth ray works two ways. You can bring from the sixth ray all you want to create, and you can also look at from the fourth ray all of the things you have created that you no longer want to hold on to. I am angry, I'm not smart, I don't know what I'm doing, nobody likes me. Congratulations, tremendous constructions. You've been massively successful at being not okay, except can't be not okay. So you have to work really hard at pretending to be not okay. Amusing, isn't it? Congratulations. From where I'm looking, many of you have been enormously successful at pretending to be not okay. Would you like to let that go? Would you like to simply recognize it was a construction that no longer has value? Now, another breath. Now, I'm watching many of you go, oh, wow, I want to get rid of this and I want to get rid of that. Whoa, yes. But here, let's put it all together and begin to play with it. Fifth ray is where you bring your creation and you begin to look at it. Is this the right color green that I want to put to create my pink? It's like, oh, no, I don't need that. Just set it aside. All you're doing is sorting through all of the possibilities, opportunities, all of the tools, all of the densities, all of the thoughts, the emotions. I get to choose exactly, precisely what I want. And what happens right here is I get to say to the sixth ray, kind of the library in the sky, I would like to become aware of the colors that create pink. And I'm looking for this shade of pink. What is it that I need to use? And what happens is the sixth ray delivers to you, without a lot of additional noise, the combinations of colors to make pink. Doesn't assemble it for you, that's you in the fourth ray. It simply puts right on the workbench the pieces. What you can do right here is say, okay, assemble that into pink for me. Boom, done. right there, pink. The shade is a little bit off. I would like to have a little more light into it. No problem. You're on the workbench. You are organizing creation. You are assembling creation. You are simply being more exact in what you want, how you want it, what you'd like to experience, what you could do to laugh even harder than you've laughed before. So you bring it down into the workbench and you got to kind of play with it and assemble it. And then it's like, yes, yes, this is it. Fourth ray, I would like this apple. And the apple appears in your hand. Now let me say that again for you. So I would like a red apple that tastes like this, has this sugar content, has this texture, has this shape, and I would like it created. And you hold out your hand and the apple appears. That's not a metaphorical example. That's how it works. Now, whoa, no apple. I'm holding out my hand. Well, in this part of the game, which we'll come back to in a round in another way, and the Mastering Alchemy work focuses 100% right here. But in that creation, there's still a lot of stuff that's kind of in that created space of your physicality, of your mental, emotional body, even in your etheric body, where you have said, I'm not okay. And it's still sitting there, and it's sitting there in such a way it interferes with that color pink, that apple that I just intended to create. But see here in the octave, in this fifth dimensional space, what happens is you begin to have the opportunity to allow the third dimension not to play in the game. You have the capacity to simply step out of the third dimension, the guilt, the blames, the insecurities, the doubt, I'm not okay. As this light's coming in, the ability to just simply say, in so many ways, this is no longer necessary. I'm stepping out of this game. Now, in a minute, we're going to play with something else called the fourth aspect of time. You see, time isn't just linear. Time is 5 different configurations of application for assembly. But we'll get there in a minute. So another breath. You see, sitting here on this park bench, there's a purpose, and the purpose is to create a new realm of consciousness, to basically begin to create the architecture, the environment, the landscape, the atmosphere, the nature of this new realm of consciousness built in fifth dimension. That's why we're here. That's what we're doing. Another breath. A lot is moving around in your space. If you just kind of pause here for a minute, it's very exciting where I'm watching. This is really exactly what you said. Let's do this last night in the sleep space, and here we are. Should be a big smile on your face. Notice yourself. And would you bring yourself a little quieter? Notice excitement and just allow it as you be a little quieter. Now, in this new realm, there is no 3D. Now, one of the things about moving from 3D to 5D is you cannot take your baggage with you on this journey. So as you begin to play in these rays, in this fourth, fifth, sixth ray, and you begin to bring your attention to creating what you want. And here, the what we want is not the new car, the new bicycle, the new physical. That comes too. So you can have whatever you want, but we're not going into your physical manifestation. We're building this new realm. And the new realm is very personal. It is your new realm. It's respect and dignity and kindness and laughter and gratitude and this sense of looking at something and admiring it and saying hello to the flower and being amazed when the flower says hello back to you. And the wild squirrel that's sitting there just comes up and takes the crumb, the piece of bread that you have in your hand. No fear on the part of the wild squirrel. Now just kind of notice right here, as it gets a little quieter, we're just reframing another component of this field of this space. Now, all you need to do is just kind of hear that, go, ah, interesting. I have no idea what he's talking about, but I feel good. And there you are. That's it. So fourth ray basically assembles and disassembles what you intend to create. The fifth ray, where we're playing, is where you bring your idea, your concepts, your thoughts, your possibilities, and you just simply say, I think it can work this way. Put it there. Is there anything else I should know? You kind of ask the sixth ray, and oh, I had forgotten about that. I don't need this, I could use this. You reassemble what you've intended to create right there on the fifth ray, on the workbench. You can add, you can subtract, there's nothing wrong, there's nothing broken. And then when you're very comfortable with what your creation is, you simply have the fourth ray bring it into creation. I have this idea. I have a new business. I would like to begin to experience myself differently. It is that simple. And where we're playing is we're moving into this octave, this fifth dimensional space, without baggage. Now let's just play here for another few minutes. Would you become very quiet, very aware? And you see, one of the things about the 3D experience is it's in an environment that has architecture, but it's an environment. It basically, the game board says, this is the rules, this is the structure, this is how you play this game. And we all said, okay. And so it sets the environment, it sets the rules, it sets the temperature, it sets the weather, it sets everything for the game, the environment. Now, would you just consider that the third dimension is a game board. And the third dimension's rules and structures are for that game board. And then if you looked at it slightly different, it's as if I'm sitting in a movie that I'm no longer interested in participating in, watching. I'm not enjoying this movie anymore. This is where your ability right here to get up and walk to that door, open the door, and step out of the third dimensional movie. And when you're in this new game board of 5D, there is no 3D. The rules don't apply, the constructs don't apply, and one of the things that's really interesting is you brought a whole bunch of baggage over. It's like going to the park for the day, and it's an amazing park, but you still bring your yesterday with you. Here, you brought your yesterday with you. It's kind of in this octave. It's still, I'm not okay to some extent, but it's getting softer, it's getting easier, it's getting more real to let go. And it's possible to let it go. Now, here, sitting on the park bench, we're building a new environment. One of respect and dignity, kindness, co-creation, the smile, the beauty, the ease. I like you, I like me. Let's play on the swings with a smile. Now, the thing is, where you have used that fourth ray in the third dimension and you have assembled, I'm not okay, that's talking right now in the rational mind. Well, what about? This can't be that easy. This is a space where you begin to use these tools, fourth, fifth, sixth ray, for example, to dismantle. Very valuable, very important, very useful, and I want to give you another choice to actually make it even easier when you play with this fourth, fifth, sixth ray, dissolving what you don't want to take with you to this game. Now, another breath. Happy, pleased with yourself. I like me. I kind of feel it. Third dimension's over there, we're not giving it any attention. We're going to play with this going forward a number of times, but right here we're setting it into consciousness, bringing it into awareness. And we're going to label it, and it's only a label, the fourth aspect of time. Reference point. Now here's what I'd like you to do, is would you be very aware of yourself, very quiet, very present. Another breath, very conscious. And would you bring your attention, without knowing what this is at all or having to think about it, you intimately know what I'm going to say, is would you bring yourself into the higher mind or the higher self? And what happens is it gets more quiet. The inside of your head seems to get bigger and clearer, if you will allow it. And then would you be without thought, but be aware? And just get quiet enough to where your mind is not talking to you. Quiet, aware, present. And you can add a smile, comfortable, no work. I'm going to suggest this is a place you play all week before the next session we play next week. But right here, something happens with this fourth aspect of time. It's as if you look out on that fifth ray's workbench, and everything about you, past lives, future lives, simultaneous time, all of your experiences sit on this fifth dimensional workbench. All of your third dimensional games sit on this workbench. No thinking. And how this aspect of time works is you begin to say to the six ray, this is what I would like to create. An environment, an experience. Keep it simple, really simple. We're playing an instruction. We're not giving you, go do this. Just play right here. No thought, everything on the table. But as you say, I would like to be happy. I would like to be happy. Everything that is not aligned with any of the configurations of the thought and the feeling of happy fall off the workbench. Everything that has no additional value to being happy falls away and does not have to reappear as you begin to bring happy into your intention and then bring happy into the fourth ray. And it all happens in an instant. I am happy. And now, no thought, you're in that higher self, higher mind space. Keep it very simple. I like me. Feeling. Smile. No thought, but a knowingness. Would you simply have the awareness as I am creating a new aspect of myself. Now, it's not new. I'm removing everything that has prevented me from being happy in this space that I'm sitting, fourth aspect of time. There is no failure. There is nothing incomplete. I wish to be happy. And there is no but. Now, in this octave, happy, there's joy, there's ease, there's amusement, there's laughter. And would you just recognize, without any thought, just kind of look around, I'm just sitting on the park bench, creating a new realm, a new environment for myself and others to choose if they desire. Now just allow the awareness of a new realm that's happy. Oh, there's lots else, but just this, a vibration that begins to be the structure of the environment. Happy. There is no 3D. It doesn't exist here. Happy. There's a smile. And if you allow it, the smile will just begin to smile more and happier. You see, this is the piece that the third dimensional game board removed from the game. This higher access to you as a spiritual being. The ability to remove imagination. The third dimension altered the concept of permission. Got in the way by adding doubt and insecurity and self-judgment. But here, happy. And in the co-creation, that creator is happy. And all aspects of happy you have access to right here in this fourth, fifth, sixth ray, stepping down with the second ray, the energetics of creating the magnetic fields, the electrical vibrations of feelings and emotions happy, all play out on this fifth ray as it's being drawn from the sixth ray's library. Simple. Now, no thought, just a smile. Happy. No second thoughts, no doubt, no judgment. That's all 3D. If that pops in up, the stuff falling off the table, leaving the backpack. I like me. Now, just one more thing before we kind of move into a different space. Everything that we've just done is creating an added density, an added connectivity, an added vibrational interface in the sleep space between you as the spiritual being you are and the soul, and you, the physical being you are walking around. We're beginning to bring the soul into physicality to create a new game board and allowing the old game board to be satisfied and dissolved. I like me. And just one more notice. No thought. Very aware in your head. Very quiet. And there's an awareness of yourself, but it's not thinking in words as you talk to yourself in your head. Between now and next we meet, would you have an intention of sitting down in your space of meditation or a quiet space during your day and beginning to bring yourself into this quiet, present, aware, no thought space with a smile? Or just tapping into something that is quite magnificent. Well, you. We'll continue to play as we go forward this week in the sleep space, building this. And the intention into the next time we meet is about constructing this new realm putting it together, beginning to assemble it with more density so that all that are in the third dimensional game, wishing freedom, permission, joy, begin to see this level of light that you are creating. Very exciting, yes? Yes. So would you just take another breath and be pleased with yourself? Would you be aware that you are also sitting in a room? You don't have to move to the room. It's just like I'm here and inside this room, inside the center of my head. You'll come to recognize that you can occupy very aware with consciousness more than one place at one time. But a story for another day. Another breath. Would you wiggle your toes? Pleased with yourself. Open your eyes if you'd like. Comfortable. Smile. I like me. Until we meet again next week, many blessings. I appreciate you.